While working on this project, I learned about the compensation of a speech pathologist in the state of California. There are many different settings for this job and a lot of opportunity in the workplace. The environment that a speech pathologist decides to work in may affect their pay scale. I also learned about schooling and requirements that need to be achieved in order to become a speech pathologist. Speech pathologists are medical professionals who help people that struggle with their speech. Some patients that they see have difficulty with stutters and also people with vocal and cognitive disabilities. In this field, they are able to help people with other issues with speaking, such as difficulty that occurs in emotional stress, learning disabilities, and physical disabilities. In order to become a speech pathologist, an individual needs to achieve a master's degree in an accounted speech language program. After these education opportunities are achieved, the individual must pass a state licensure exam. Some problems that most speech pathologists face have to do with high caseloads and lack of materials. Unfortunately, solutions to these problems come down to issues that occur with lack of funding and amount of staff able to take care of these patients. Although lack of funding is an issue, there are things in place in order to help reduce overwork of speech pathologists. Some challenges that are faced by speech pathologists are high caseloads and lack of materials. The caseloads for speech therapists in schools can be anywhere from 80 to 100 students at a time. This can make treatment very inefficient. A difficulty associated with high caseloads is excessive paperwork associated with these caseloads. This results in speech pathologists working long hours after they are done performing therapy in order to catch up on this work. Another issue is that speech pathologists who work in public schools struggle with a lack of funding and, in result, a shortage of materials. The median pay scale for a speech pathologist is $73,410 a year. The unemployment rate is 1.8%, and the upward mobility is average, according to U.S. News. Some speech pathologists in other environments, such as hospitals, struggle with other expectations. For example, in hospitals, speech therapists are not allowed to take home work due to hospital regulations. A possible solution to the issue of high caseloads is for more recognition to be brought to speech therapy and its importance. If it is becoming more recognized in the field, there will be more funding allowed for it. Another possible solution is to time sessions in an orderly, effective manner so that the speech pathologist can get through all the cases in an effective time. If some cases need more attention, it would be better for the practitioner to recommend more sessions for the patient than to see them for longer sessions. Frequency of sessions allows for more success than longer sessions because it allows repetitive practice. Job satisfaction is also a critical aspect of speech pathologists. Job satisfaction was studied, and it was found that caseload and paperwork affected the speech pathologist's level of job satisfaction and stress. Maximum caseload numbers are provided depending on the state. This is to help speech pathologists from being overworked. However, caseload and overworkload are not the same for every patient in speech. Speech pathologists find themselves struggling with the amount of workload they take on. One possible solution is also for speech pathologists to provide take-home work for their patients. This allows to practice things they had gone over in therapy and can help to strengthen their therapy. It is important for speech pathologists to pay great attention to their students, for some require more attention than others. This will affect how long treatment times go and the difficulty of their sessions in treatment. Workload is a major struggle in treatment of speech. Although there is no main solution, there are a lot of factors to increase efficiency. To conclude, speech pathologists must obtain a master's degree and proper licensure in order to practice in the field. In their job, they work with kids and adults to help them correct issues faced with speech. Issues that are faced with speech pathologists are heavy caseloads and high paperwork. As these issues increase, the job satisfaction decreases. Speech pathologists are forced to work long hours in order to catch up on paperwork they are required to do. Another issue that speech pathologists deal with is the lack of resources, and this occurs highly in the school systems due to lack of funding. The median pay for a speech pathologist is $73,410 per year in the United States. Some possible solutions to remedy the long hours would be to recommend more sessions versus longer sessions, and in result, this will allow speech pathologists to see their patients on time in one day. They also should not accept more than their maximum amount of patients based on their state.